They have a couple of differences in structure. The first two are actually differences in their nucleotides. The sugar found in the nucleotide determines the name. RNA has ribose, DNA has deoxyribose, and that's why it's RNA and DNA. The whole name would be, you take off the SE and attach the name of the sugar to nucleic acid, so RNA. So DNA would stand for but you keep the ribo in it.
Okay.
So deoxyribonucleic acid. Now, if you care, the difference structurally is an additional oxygen in the ribose. And that's why this is called deoxyribose. It has one less oxygen in it. Then, which bases are used in the nucleotides? Both of them use A, C, and G. These are abbreviations. I'll give you the names coming up. Then DNA uses T, RNA uses U. So you won't find a T base attached to a ribose or a U base attached to a deoxyribose. But A, C, and G you can find either way. The bases are called adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, and uracil. I'm not sure why this one gets an "il" ending instead of an "ine." But the only one that ends in "il" is found only in RNA, if that helps you keep track. And this shows what they each look like. So adenine and guanine are bigger. Cytosine, thymine, and uracil are smaller. Next, the structure of the nucleic acid as a whole is different. DNA always has 2 strands. RNA only has 1 strand. So in this picture of DNA, this strip with the little pieces sticking off it is the single strand. Those pieces are the bases, and they stick to each other in the middle. And that double strand twists up. It looks like a twisted ladder. We call it a double helix. RNA doesn't have that consistent shape because the single strand, the bases are going to stick to each other in different ways and crumple it up like a protein. So DNA all looks the same. RNA, you'll see a wide variety in what it looks like, but it's always made of a strand of nucleotides that have ribose and A, C, G, and U in them. Finally, the functions. DNA only has one job to do, which is storing information. The reason these are called nucleic acids, your cell has a nucleus, like an atom, but instead of a cluster of protons and neutrons, it's a bubble in the cell that stores the DNA. The DNA just sits there holding the instructions for how to build you. To follow those instructions, which usually means building proteins, that's where RNA comes in. We call that process protein synthesis. Several varieties of RNA are involved in it. They basically copy the information from the DNA and then go out and build the protein. We'll talk a little bit about it in Chapter 3 and go into the details of how it works in Chapter 4. Questions on DNA and RNA? Now there is one nucleotide that has a job all on its own rather than just being combined into DNA and RNA. That's called ATP, which stands for adenosine triphosphate. So the aden part tells you that the base in it is A, adenine. The osine is that it's os attached to a sugar. Triphosphate, instead of the one phosphate that nucleotides have, it's got 3. Its job is to carry energy. And that's another thing we'll talk more about in Chapter 4. So ATP is often referred to as the energy currency of cells. Right. So any questions